talking to single ladies right now, which is very important because we are about to interview someone who has the ultimate answer to the ultimate question if you are looking for Mr. Right. Because you've probably wondered, why is it so hard to find a nice guy who's single? Well, we are answering that question with the author of the new book, Qualified Yet Single, Why Good Men Remain Single. Meet psychotherapist Dr.Dwayne Buckingham, and you also have a documentary that people can watch right now about this singlehood problem.
Yes, it will be prepared tonight at the Tivoli Theater at 7 p.m., the film, and I actually highlight some of the things that are in the book.
Well, let's answer the question first.
Okay.
Why does it seem like there are so many good single men out there and they're staying single? What's wrong with them?
The number one issue that I found was fear.
Fear, okay.
Fear, yes, because a lot of guys, we're taught to be providers and protectors, and so when we enter into relationships, that's a certain amount of vulnerability that you have to have. And I think as men, sometimes we struggle with that emotionally.
So basically, it's not the women out there who are being desperate and psycho. That's not the problem.
No, I think it's always two sides to every story. And what I found in interviewing 100+ guys from various cities is that their stories had to do around emotional challenges and around fear and vulnerability. And so, yes, it's not just the single women.
Well, if a single woman is watching right now, your book basically helps them be more selective and find the right person. Yeah. And we were talking before we came on what some of those qualities are you need to be looking for. Yes. So let's talk about that.
Quality time. The determinant of a man can actually offer you quality time, because that's important. And what I mean by quality time, not just standing with you, but literally attentive to your needs and toning to your emotional needs and being able to respond to those things.
And you were saying that, yeah, you might find a guy who's super successful and makes a lot of money, but that might not be the right guy because he may be so wrapped up in his business that he doesn't have time for your business.
Exactly. And so emotional availability is critical, that you want a guy who's balanced, not that he can only succeed financially and successfully in his business, but he's emotionally available to you, have a great deal of balance, and so that's critical.
But so you're telling me that these good guys are out there, but they're afraid of commitment. So what if you find this guy that can meet your emotional needs, but then he doesn't want to commit?
Well, and that's another whole story, though. If he's not willing to commit, then part of the book, unfortunately, what I'm saying to him is don't waste your time, because you can't change a person who's not willing to change. So if whatever he brings to the table, and if he's willing to change, I encourage women to stick through and support your guy. But if he's not willing to, I don't know if that's really a healthy relationship that you need to enter.
Now let me ask you something, since you're an expert. Is there a timeline? If you've been with this man for 2 years and he still doesn't want to put a ring on it?
Yes, that's a great question. I've been asked that a lot because of the whole Steve Harvey book, the 90-day rule. And what I would say to women...
The 90-day rule?
The 90-day rule.
Okay, what's that?
What I would say to women, Steve Harvey says that you should make a guy waste 90 days before, you have sex with him or commit or any of that kind of things. What I would say to a woman is that you want a man who has his own standards. And so if he has his own 90-day rule, that's the kind of quality guy that you're looking for. So you can set your own standards, but what you really want is a guy who has his own standards. So the time frame, is that important? No, it's the quality of the interactions which is more critical, and the values that the guy brings to the table.
So if we go watch this documentary, what are we going to learn from it?
You're going to learn that men are emotional, and we actually, unfortunately, don't cope with it well. But you should pay a little bit more attention to that, and not, I have some of the guys saying, hey, when I try to show my emotions, women shoot me down. They're telling me I'm not man enough. And I think that's a problem. So I want women to come out and watch this and see how they can better interact with quality guys.
Because we're always trying to figure out, what is he thinking?
Yes.
He's got it in the book. Lots of quotes from these men you've interviewed. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Buckingham. And we have posted all of this information and a link to Dr. Buckingham's website on greatdaystlouis.com. Kent? Are you emotionally available?
I'm emotionally wrecked. Does
Are
that make me
scared,
available?
Kent?
That can be fixed.
Am I scared?
Speak to the doctor.
I'm scared to death. I'm frightened.
All
I'm
right.
still shaking from Vanessa Williams.
That's why he's
a little bit of that,
wreck.
too.
That's a big part of it.